Hello everybody and welcome to Mother Rabbit's Kitchen. Today I'm going to do a really quick bake of the easiest and most delicious oatmeal raisin cookies made with freshly milled flour. So we're just gonna get started and do this as quickly as possible because my kids are about to get home from school and it's gonna get crazy and loud and they're gonna wanna eat cookies quickly. So let's get going. So we're gonna get our dry ingredients together first. I have just milled 240 grams of flour. Now I always say this, when I say a number of grams of flour, what I put into my mill is always 10 grams higher. I always add 10 grams when I'm weighing it to account for any dust and little flyaway thingies, because I don't want to miss any of that flour. You know, it's a science, right? So 240 grams of flour, which really means I measured 250 grams of the soft white wheat berries, and I just freshly milled that, so that's ready. Then I'm gonna add the rest of my dry ingredients, and I'll try to do this in a way where you can actually see what's going on. Okay, so I have my flour here. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, like so. I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of baking soda, like so. I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, like so. And then I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. 1, 2. Then I'm going to whisk them together. So this recipe is so easy because for the butter, I just melt the butter. I don't worry about softening it and then creaming it for minutes on end in a stand mixer. Stand mixers are great when you need them, but I love cookies quickly. So I love a recipe that is just throw it all together and make it. So I've got all of my dry ingredients here, and then I'm going to add my oats, which is 1.5 cups of rolled oats. And then I have 1.5 cup of raisins. So I'll just pop that in there, and then I'll just stir it together, I guess. If I stick my whisk in there, the raisins are gonna get all caught on it. So I'll just give it a good stir like that. So we have all of our dry ingredients there, and I do that separately, even though it would be even easier if I could just do it all in one bowl, but just those little ingredients like the baking powder and baking soda, you want to make sure they're really well spread out through your mixture. You don't want any clumps of baking soda, believe me. I've made that mistake before. It's not pleasant. Okay, so in our main bowl where we're going to mix all the dough together, we are going to start with our wet ingredients. So I just took 2 sticks of butter and melted it in the microwave just for about a minute. It wasn't totally melted, but after I let it sit for about 30 seconds or a minute or so, then all those like solid soft pieces just kind of melted in. So now it's pretty much, yeah, it's totally melted there. I hope you can see that. So I have my melted butter, and then I'm gonna do a 1/2 cup of sugar. So I have some raw organic sugar here. So that's a 1/2 cup. And then we're gonna do a full cup of brown sugar. And what I like to do is take my 1/2 cup measure, stick it down deep into the bag, and then I kind of press the sugar into the 1/2 cup measure. So I get a nice thick 1/2 cup of sugar, and I didn't make a mess of brown sugar anywhere. So that's a 1/2 cup. I'm gonna do 1 more of those. And I always go like a tiny bit over. I just can't do exactly a 1/2 cup, or I can't do exact measurements when it comes to sugar. It's just gotta like round out slightly. Okay, so I've got I'm gonna just go ahead and get my whisk in here now that I'm done with the dry ingredients. So I have my butter and my regular sugar and my brown sugar. I'm just gonna whisk that vigorously. Just a few seconds. It just looks like really wet sand. Then I'm gonna throw in 1 egg. So 1 egg and then 3 teaspoons of vanilla. And this is how I measure teaspoons of vanilla. Basically 3 generous squeezes. And then I'm gonna whisk again. So just breaking up that yolk and getting the egg and the vanilla all mixed in. Oh, it already smells amazing. The brown sugar and the vanilla together is like activating, and it is so delicious. It would be at this point that my kids would be like, can I taste it? And it's basically just butter and sugar, so no. If you add the freshly milled flour, then it's like totally healthy. So then yeah. But anyway, so you can see it's kind of like getting lighter in color and fluffier. So just a quick, vigorous, rigorous whisking. The rest of my ingredients. And I have to pause because I always do this when I make anything, is make sure I have included all of my ingredients. And since my recipe that I wrote is on my phone and that is being occupied right now, I have to do it from memory. So I got my sugars, my butter, the egg and the vanilla. I got, oh, my kids are home. It's gonna get crazy in here. My flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, cinnamon, oats, and raisins. So that should be good to go. All we have to do now is, let me grab a little, you know what, actually I'm gonna I was gonna grab a rubber spatula, but you need something like a little sturdier to mix everything in really well. So I'm gonna dump my dry ingredients on top of my wet. And I'm just going to stir everything together. It's gonna feel a little bit hard to stir. It's gonna be like, wow, this is a really dry situation. Believe me, these cookies come out so moist, so soft and chewy, and they stay good for days. Now, I will tell you right now that if you were to bake these straight from dough, they would probably spread out pretty thinly. I find the trick with a recipe like this is to freeze the cookie dough balls first for like, hi guys, I'm doing a recipe video real quick, so feel free to come in. Okay. But, you know. Mom? Yes, my love.
He's got some Valentine's candy.
Oh, you got Valentine's candy? Hey, baby. Oh, your tooth is still hanging on by a thread. Just be careful because I have a video, which is, it's totally fine for you to be in here. I just don't want you to knock into it. Okay. Yes, baby.
Look what I made.
What is that?
Out of a water slide.
Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. That's so good, buddy. Was that an art class?
No, it was in STEM.
Come over and give me this.
Hey, Mom. Shannon's letting me, but can I try something from Shannon's bag?
Yeah.
Me too.
Sure. Okay, so that actually worked out well that they came in while I was stirring because I
What do you guys have?
kind of split my attention a little bit, so thanks for sticking around. Okay, so now I have this amazing cookie dough mixture. It's gonna be really, really hard not to just like dig in and eat it, but and you can if you want to. Grab a little taste if you want. But it is perfectly mixed. And now I'm just gonna get everything off the spoon because nothing should go to waste unless you're gonna lick the spoon. That's always a good idea. Don't mind the yelling in the background. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is simply scoop out the cookie dough balls onto this. This is like a little mini sheet tray. This is actually my toaster oven sheet tray. And I find it to be the perfect size when doing a recipe like this. I just scoop the balls right on here, and then I'm gonna pop them in the freezer. I would say freeze for at least an hour before trying to bake. Now, this might seem like, well, that's really disappointing because if I have to wait an hour to bake the cookies and I want cookies right now, that's not fun. but think of it as an investment. You want to always have frozen cookie dough balls in the freezer so that whenever you want a cookie in like minutes, you just preheat your oven, you put the frozen balls onto a sheet tray, and bada bing, bada boom, you have your cookies in minutes, and you don't even have to like do all the dough that day. So it's more of an investment in frozen cookie dough that you can have any time. So I'm gonna scoop out these balls. This is about a 1.5 inch, I would say. I was measuring it with my finger because I couldn't find my tape measure, but I wanted to tell you it's a small cookie dough scoop. So it's about 1.5, maybe 1 3/4 in diameter. And I just try to be as exact as I can, even though it's tempting to go over the scoop size. Hey babe, I just decided to do a quick thing. I was inspired. I was inspired because I had a notification that somebody had randomly made my banana oat muffins, which I forgot I even had on there. And they were like, this is the best freshly milled muffin recipe I've ever had. Oh, and it was just so inspiring. So I was just like, what video can I throw together just to get more freshly milled stuff out there? Because, you know, people want it. It might not be a lot of people right now, but I know people want it. And I know personally.
It'll probably grow as you.
Yeah, and I know personally, I'm kind of like half talking to you and half talking to the camera. I'm not live right now, but I'm trying to do it like as smoothly as possible so that I have very little editing involved.
Yeah.
Because it's already, you know, a thing to have time to bake and then to.
You told the kids that you can't eat. Right?
Yeah, I told them they could because I'm obviously like distracted, so I'm saying yes to things that I wouldn't normally say yes to. Anyway, I don't want to bore you with all the scooping that I'm about to do. What I will show you right now is I am going to scoop these and put them in the freezer. But like I said, it's an investment. Right now, I still have some oatmeal raisin cookie dough balls in the freezer that I'm going to throw in the oven right now, and the kids are going to get a little treat. And I wasn't anticipating the fact that they already have Valentine's Day candy, so now they're going to have a treat on top of all that sugar. So that's just life. Ooh, I have that. Oatmeal raisin cookies. All right, so I'm just gonna get this out of the way for a second, but I'm gonna fill this whole tray up. I'm trying to remember how many cookies it makes. It makes something like 45, something like that. So right now, I'm just gonna get out my regular sheet pan, because these are the ones I'm gonna bake. I made these last weekend. I would say the cookie dough balls could stay in the freezer for like 6 months. I don't know why you would ever have to keep cookie dough balls in the freezer for that long, because if you have cookie dough balls in your freezer, you should be baking them regularly and then replenishing them. So these are completely frozen. What I do is after I stick this little tray in the freezer, once they're frozen, you can just grab them and throw them in a Ziploc bag. I wouldn't scoop them directly into the bag from the soft cookie dough, because they'll just all mush together and it won't go well when you're trying to separate them onto a sheet tray. So you freeze them onto a tray, then take the tray out after like half hour or an hour, and then if you're gonna, bake them right away, go for it. But if not, get a freezer bag and just pop all the balls in there. So I'm gonna go ahead.
Oreo.
And I think I have like 10 cookies here, so I'll just go ahead and make all 10. Now, they are gonna go in the oven for just 10 minutes. They're gonna look pretty raw and just not done. Take them out anyway. You want them to be very undercooked when you take them out. They will continue to cook, and if you wait until they look cooked, you're gonna take them out and they're gonna overcook, and you'll be very, very sad. So, my other tip is, if you are making cookies for a crowd, or you just wanna make at least 2 trays, I would separate your racks so that they're both kind of like equidistant from the top and the bottom. Then put your racks in, set a timer for 5 minutes. Then when that goes off, switch the racks, set a timer for 5 more minutes, and then take them out. I'm just like very sensitive to ovens being a little annoying in terms of like uneven baking top and bottom rack. So anytime I have something on the bottom and the top rack, I always put the timer on for half the time, switch the racks, and then finish off the time. So here are my frozen balls going in the oven right now. I'm gonna tilt you over here so you can see. Whoop, that one rolled. Be careful of rolling dough balls. All right, timer's on 10 minutes on 350. And you know what? I'm just gonna keep balling over here. And you can stick around. Or I can edit this part out. We'll see what happens. What's up, my girl? Love you. How was your day?
Good.
What kind of candy did you guys get?
I got like Hershey's Kisses and gummies.
So why did they celebrate Valentine's Day today instead of on Friday? Just curious.
Because we don't have Friday.
Oh, there's no school on Friday. I forgot.
It's teacher planning day.
Yes, my love.
Buy any of these?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You didn't want them?
No.
Do you not like them?
I do. It just yogurt fills me up.
The yogurt fills you up? Okay. Just, I don't know, put them somewhere. I just like that closet you can't access right now because of the video, so.
Thank you.
Just there's fine. Did you get any candy today, Sky? Do you guys do anything in the upper school for
Yeah, we're doing our
Valentine's
Valentine's party, remember?
Day? Oh, that's next week, right?
Mhm.
You're doing it late? Okay. Hey, I've got an idea. We can make cookies.
Do you make cookies for us too?
Were you here when the
Tomorrow.
snow fell off the roof?
No. Is there
Oh.
snow on the ground?
Oh yeah.
What happened?
The
Where is it?
front roof.
Really?
Tons of it fell, like the whole sidewalks covered with like huge like bricks of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Does it look like an avalanche or something?
Andy, you want Tic Tac? What? Tic Tac. Tic Tac.
By the way, I know this whole thing is about the freshly milled flour going into these cookies. Of course, you can make this recipe with regular store-bought flour. Now, this freshly milled flour is 100% whole wheat. I don't know how it would go if you did store-bought whole wheat for this. I remember the days before I was milling and I would try to incorporate whole wheat flour and replace it like completely in recipes, and it just never really turned out that delicious. Like sometimes it was downright disgusting. Maybe with cookies you wouldn't really notice it because there's obviously like sugar and butter and all that stuff, but I know for like muffins and, well, muffins sometimes it was okay, but breads in general, like if I ever tried to use 100% whole wheat store-bought, it was gross and dense and just not worth it. So if you are not milling yet, I know a lot of you probably are waiting for your mill to arrive, or you're saving up for a mill, or you have ordered your mill and it is like on back order. So in the meantime, just get a really high quality organic flour, or do a mix of whole wheat and white organic. So we'll just make do with what we have. But once you get your hands on that mill, then you're gonna want to grab your hard white wheat, your soft white wheat, any other grains that you want to experiment with. And it is gonna be just the adventure of a lifetime with milling your own flour. It's the coolest thing. So I am almost done. And I love this little toaster oven sheet tray because I always find it to be a great size for scooping these little dough balls. And you know what? While I have you here, because I don't feel like editing this video at all, you can feel free to like skip 10 seconds or 30 seconds, however it works, or just scroll through. But I'm just gonna make this one long video. Or should I? When the cookies come out, they're gonna be, yeah, I will. Okay, so what I'm gonna show you while I have 6 minutes left. Do you want some?
Oh yeah.
I actually don't know if I have enough to make one more. I think I have enough to make
Is
one
that
more.
chocolate chip though?
This is oatmeal raisin. Sorry. There's like not much here. I'm gonna steal a raisin from this ball because I feel like there aren't enough raisins in this. So I'm stealing a raisin from there, and I'm gonna put right there. Here, you guys take this. All right, I'm gonna see if there's room in my freezer. There isn't always room in my freezer. So those are sourdough covers. They're like those little tiny baggies. Okay, I was able to successfully get my dough balls in there. So while I have you here, we have 5 minutes until the cookies come out of the oven. I'm gonna, just in case you haven't started working with your mill yet, you haven't milled your own flour yet, I will show you how it works because one of my friends just ordered her mill and it has not arrived yet. She found out that there's some sort of delay. They like back order, out of stock, or whatever it is, but she paid for it and she's still waiting for it. But I told her, you know, she's so excited about starting her freshly milled flour journey that, you know, once you kind of get into that mindset, it's hard to just not be there and like physically be there yet with your grains. So I told her, just whenever you need it, just tell me and I will mill flour for you. So she just like pays me for what I, you know, mill and, you know, it's like $2 here or something like that. So she is, I think, making some sort of bread. She was making cookies last week, and so I milled her some soft white wheat. But now she has requested, how many cups did she say? She has requested 3 cups. Is it 3 cups? Yes, 3 cups. So I'm gonna do 360 grams of the hard white wheat because she wants it for some sort of bread. She wants hard white. Okay. What was it? That was just oats. Okay. So, like I said before, if I want the outcome to be a certain number, then I'm going to add an extra 10 grams while I'm weighing out the initial grains. I've never heard of anybody else doing this, but it works for me and makes me be able to sleep at night. So here's my hard white. Again, we used soft white for the cookies. Hard white would be fine for cookies too. But with breads, you definitely want your hard white or hard red grain. Soft white does not have enough gluten potential. So what did I say? I said 360, so we're gonna go to 370 when we weigh this out. Perfect. 371, that's fine. Now in order to show you the mill, I have to turn you around. I'm gonna unplug because I was charging.
Mama, can I lick this?
Yes. So, here we go. Now here's where, oh, you didn't see this side. That's the messy charging station side. This is the hide-a-mill side. Okay, we moved into this house about like 7 or 8 months ago. And I was so excited when I saw this. We actually moved into the house. We bought the house without having ever seen it in person. But anyway, that's a story for another time. But this cabinet is in my kitchen, and look how cool this is. This cabinet has an outlet in the back. So I was able to keep my mill in here, plug it in, and then it has this little pull-out drawer. So I can pull out my mill when I want to use it, and then tuck it away, because they're not the prettiest things. Sorry, honey, you're so good and functional, but you're not beautiful. So I tuck it away, I close the door, and then I pull it out like 10 minutes later, because I'm always milling. Anyway, so we have our mill here. We're gonna put in our grain, dump it right in the top, put your lid on. This just kind of keeps things just from like popping out, even though if you kept it off, it would be totally fine. I have just under a minute left on my cookies. So I'm actually gonna not turn this on yet because it's gonna be noisy and I wanna be able to take my cookies out for you. So before I turn this on, I just want to explain, this is my Nutri-Mill. They're about $300. I think that's what they're still going for. It's a really, really good investment, no regrets. Okay, So make sure your bucket is pushed all the way in. I've made that mistake before. You turn it on and flour poofs everywhere. So make sure it's all the way in. And then my top dial is all the way to the left and my bottom dial is on the off position. And I'm just gonna turn it just to the immediate on position. I want the finest grain possible. Now that's about to go off, so I'm gonna take you over here and we're going to, I don't know, where should I put you? What's up, babe?
When's my dentist appointment?
I did call today. I have to call back because it's a whole thing. I will. Okay, so let's see how these look. Oh my gosh, they look so good. Ah! Okay. These look amazing. And the shapes are a little funny. They're not the most uniform shapes. It doesn't matter. You just eat the cookie and you'll love it. You could do that trick where you put like a cup upside down, you swirl it around. I've never been that kind of fancy, so I like them just that way. I'm gonna turn this oven off. I am gonna let them sit for at least 10 minutes before we devour them. So cookies are finished. That is the whole recipe. And again, I can't say how long they'll stay fresh for because we've never gone more than 3 days without finishing what we've baked. But I was pleasantly surprised that the other day, it was the third day, and when I ate it, I was in absolute heaven at how fresh and chewy and soft they still tasted. Okay, before I let you go, I'm gonna take you back to my mill, and I'm just gonna show you how to grind it. So, put the lid on, and you turn it on. You can kind of see it working. This amount will probably take about, I'm going to take you into another room. Sorry, excuse me. I'm going to take you in here because it's loud in the kitchen. It is a little noisy. That amount of flour will probably take like 3 minutes to mill. Getting silly in there. Hang out by the fireplace while it's milling. Yeah, that'll take about 3 minutes. So I'm just gonna put that in a bag for my friend, and I'm gonna meet her she serves at youth group, and I'm gonna be taking my kids to youth group tonight. So I'm gonna bring that to her there, and then we're gonna devour some cookies. So I am excited that this 27-minute video is probably not going to need any editing, and that is the kind of video that I like because it's all about the baking and not so much about the sitting at the computer. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment. Please tell me if you've made these cookies. I want to hear how they came out for you. And I just thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.